and you should be able to tell that this is not a regular human right here. I mean, the Adam's apple's not right. It's just a hair. This is a really hairy woman right there. That's why I picked this one, because this is just really scary. I don't know who this is supposed to be, but it's another drag king. There we go with the women actually have these long, slender fingers. What I think is most important about men hands and women hands, men knuckles I think are bigger. I think that you can tell that men's knuckles are bigger than the rest of their fingers, and you don't see that on Stephen King. It's like a long, slender finger. Think of lady fingers. It's just a long cookie with no shape to it. Lady fingers. So we got the close together woman eyes with tons of crow's feet. Somebody told me about that. Totally true. It's more of a woman's look to get this so much crow's feet here, just from barely squint. If you're a real man, go barely squint your eyes. You're not going to get a bunch of crow's feet.
Check.
So that's another thing that they always do backwards. They make real women ashamed of their crow's feet, even though that's a woman trait. See it on this woman right here?
Alright, let's
see here. Got the goiter again in this picture. That's a goiter. It's not Adam's apple. So hopefully you know I'm joking when I say this is a goiter. I mean, it looks gross. It doesn't look right. It's not what a man's neck looks like. And it's just a feminine neck, but it's a creature neck. Like, it's trying to look like a man's neck, but it's a woman's neck. That's why it just looks so gross. So this picture, I think, just has a weird vibe to it, and it's one of those things where
I'm gonna go into windowed mode.
Trust your instinct. This shouldn't look right to you because it's just not a regular human. There's been so much work done to this creature. Like, this hairline's probably fake, the eyebrows are probably fake. So, and we can tell that when we look at it. So, in my opinion, when you look at this, you can just tell that there's something off about it. You can tell that it's not right. Yeah, so that's just why I picked this picture. Sometimes there's just like a vibe to it that you can tell it's just weird. It's not what a regular person looks like.
There we go.
Here we see Stephen King getting the photographs with the cat. Very, very common for the FTM to do a photo shoot with a cat. It's super common. I think it's just one of those funny jokes. It just represents that this is actually a woman. There's so many photo shoots of male celebs with cats. So here you go. This will give you nightmares. This is just that brick-faced tranny look. This is just... It's because they don't have a brow ridge. Their eyes aren't set back. They don't have high, wide cheekbones. So they lose all of that dimension that a real man's face is supposed to have. Look, this is a small little feminine nose with small feminine pores.
All right,
weird, smooth skin. That's why it looks like a
casual gamer here.
Wrong.
Doing something backwards. A little different.
Here we see the small feminine lips. I mean, can you not tell that these lips are the perfect feminine shape of what...
All right.
Like, think of cutesy little feminine lips. This is it, right here. To Stephen King. So,
all right.
Stephen
so
King
this is a transvestigation of Stephen King.
This one,
and
I mean, I've never
I'm gonna play some
really
Arkham Knight.
Works. I guess I've seen some of the movies.
Well, some of this stuff plays.
But yeah, this one... I think that just the face of this person is a lot scarier than anything.
So I got Arkham Knight at 30 FPS.
Like, people need to understand that Stephen King's works are a group effort. It's a lot of people planning these things, building these universes, making it's not just a single person working on these things. I forget where I was watching a video about this, but like J.K. Rowling, there's no way that just some housewife is going to be able to write something like Harry Potter all by herself. There's, and they just made a really good point. Obviously, people that wrote Harry Potter, they had some like Latin experts to do the spells. Obviously, there were witches and people that do spellcraft that were helping write this book. I mean, I'm sure that J.K. Rowling did spellcraft. I'm sure that this one too. It just looks like a demon. Just look at the eyes. So, shine on. These people think of themselves as fallen stars, hence the shining and shine on. I mean, they call themselves stars, so here you go. Look at the small pores. And this is just an FTM face 100% right here. The eyes are creepy, soulless. This is just a demon, probably. Just look at the eyes. There's nothing there. I don't think a lot of these things have souls. So look at the eyebrows. It's a bushy brow, but there's no brow ridge. This is just a woman's face. I will admit that this one has a really long area right here, but Stephen King is such a creature. Like, who knows how they get that effect? You also see the loose, perky neck of a woman. Look at this neck. If you think that neck is correct for a man, no, it's like a goiter. That is not an Adam's apple. It's a goiter. So, comment that some people have left. The FTM, they get a face like a brick. It just looks like it looks like somebody painted features on a big brick. That's not a man's face. A man, it should have deep set eyes, juxtaposed against a brow ridge, sloping. Like, this is just like a brick where someone came in and painted on facial features. It's an FTM look. They hunch up their shoulders, but really it's slopey shoulders. Look at how much fat they can put on the upper arm. It's hard for men to put on fat in the upper arm like this. That's feminine. They like to do this. They like to put a microphone right at this. It's like, well, it's a joke. Like, haha, people think I actually have a penis. And probably psychologically it also, it probably ingrains male into you. So here's two femboys, two femme authors, right? These people, they worship, like, death and the devil and all sorts of things, always in all black. And just even their stories are just perverted. Like, who wants to read that? So look at the no neck. The no neck, loose neck of a grandma. And just the facial features that just disappear. So feminine. Men are alpha males. You can spot our features right off of our faces. Stephen King is really, really hard. Oh, okay, and a king. It's a drag king. Any female that goes by queen, it's a drag queen. Any man, so anyone who claims to be a man, but they have king, it's a drag king. This isn't a real man. It's a woman pretending to be a man. This, when they put like these three fingers together and then they push these ones apart, it's like a devil horn. Also doing a devil horn over here. See how these two middle fingers are tucked in? That's also doing a devil horn. Double devil horns on this. So yeah, to me, this one's face is just really frightening. It's hard to look at. And not because it's ugly, which it is. It's just a creature. You can tell that this isn't a regular human. What are these people? I don't know. But this is not a man. It isn't. It's a bug-eyed creature, demon-possessed something. Black and white checker shirt. This is just a vertical female head. There's no brow ridge. The eyes aren't set back in the skull. They got the chiclet teeth. So that's it, and a crimson chin implant. Take a moment to inspect this loose, perky neck of a woman and slopey shoulders. Just they hunch their shoulders forward, and you know, that's it. Just look at the hair. Does that look real to you? It just looks like fake. They always just get fake hair treatments. To sell the dude. But most of these creatures are bald. Completely. A lot of crow's feet that we're seeing in here. Very fine pores in the nose. That's feminine. This skin right here, it's just very feminine. Small nose too. That's also feminine. When you're measuring whether a nose is big or small, you're measuring from this part of the nose down to here. That's really, really small. It barely takes up any of the face. This is a small feminine nose. Here we got that.
Oh, we just crashed.
It's just a brick.
Nah, really?
That's not correct. And very small shoulders. And this neck should not look right to you because it's not a man's neck. Yeah, Stephen King is definitely a creature. This looks like maybe even fake shoulder pads to give this square shoulder look. It doesn't look genuine to me at all. And there's definitely no brow ridge, and the eyes aren't set back. These are just woman eyes. When you get it in the eyes, that's it. Like, you'll just look at this and you'll know that this is not a man. Men's eyes don't look like this. They don't. This is a creature. It's not a man. Look at just the soft femme vibe to this. Very soft, very feminine. Like a turtle mouth or something. But it shouldn't look right to you. This isn't a regular man. Fake teeth. They all have fake teeth. This is 100% feminine skull shape right here. Look at this skull. That's feminine. Small feminine nose. It's just ugly. It's just the ugliest creature you've ever seen. Just because something's ugly doesn't make it a man. It's a really, really, really ugly woman creature. Something. Look how hippie. This is just it that you need. This is all you need to see about the hips. Whoa. Right? There's no torso. Super, super short torso and childbearing hips. Right there on Stephanie King. Here we go. Doing the horns. Small, delicate, feminine wrists. Just even the quality of the skin looks so feminine. Look at the loose. Women have more loose skin. This is a woman, for sure. Look at this tiny little wrist here. And just they get a loose woman effect. Their arms always look womanly. This just looks like a grandma's arm here. This is a strange vibe for this picture. And it keeps his nails long, like a woman. Men don't do this. We don't. Look at that. Men don't do that. And even just the way this hand looks right here is very feminine to me. So this t-shirt he's wearing has kind of like a snowflake effect. And snowflakes are actually a symbol for hermaphrodites. I feel like a lot of the A-listers are true hermaphrodites. So maybe this is a hermaphrodite. Maybe has a vagina and a penis. Just look at this creature. I just picked this. I picked this because you should be good enough at ignoring beards now, and you should be able to tell that this is not a regular human right here. I mean, the Adam's apple's not right. It's just a hair. This is a really hairy woman right there. That's why I picked this one. Because this is just really scary. I don't know who this is supposed to be, but it's another drag king. There we go with the Women actually have these long, slender fingers. What I think is most important about men hands and women hands, men knuckles I think are bigger. I think that you can tell that men's knuckles are bigger than the rest of their fingers, and you don't see that on Stephen King. It's like a long, slender finger. Think of lady fingers. It's just a long cookie with no shape to it. Lady fingers. So we got the close together woman eyes with tons of crow's feet. Somebody told me about that. Totally true. It's more of a woman's look to get this so much crow's feet here just from barely squinting. If you're a real man, go barely squint your eyes. You're not going to get a bunch of crow's feet. So that's another thing that they always do backwards. They make real women ashamed of their crow's feet, even though that's a woman trait. See it on this woman right here? So here you go. Got the goiter again in this picture. That's a goiter. It's not Adam's apple. So hopefully you know I'm joking when I say this is a goiter. I mean, it looks gross. It doesn't look right. It's not what a man's neck looks like. And it's just a feminine neck, but it's a creature neck. Like, it's trying to look like a man's neck, but it's a woman's neck. That's why it just looks so gross. So this picture, I think, just has a weird vibe to it, and it's one of those things where you need to just learn to trust your instinct. This shouldn't look right to you, because it's just not a regular human. There's been so much work done to this creature. Like, this hairline's probably fake, the eyebrows are probably fake. So, and we can tell that when we look at it. So in my opinion, when you look at this, you can just tell that there's something off about it. You can tell that it's not right. Yeah, so that's just why I picked this picture. Sometimes there's just like a vibe to it that you can tell it's just weird. It's not what a regular person looks like. Here we see Stephen King getting the photographs with the cat. Very, very common for the FTM to do a photo shoot with a cat. It's super common. I think it's just one of those funny jokes. It just represents that this is actually a woman. There's so many photo shoots of male celebs with cats. So here you go. This will give you nightmares. This is just that brick-faced tranny look. This is just... It's because they don't have a brow ridge. Their eyes aren't set back. They don't have high, wide cheekbones. So they lose all of that dimension that a real man's face is supposed to have. Look, this is a small little feminine nose with small feminine pores. Weird, smooth skin. That's why it looks like a creature, because everything's wrong. Everything's backwards. Here we see the small feminine lips. I mean, can you not tell that these lips are the perfect feminine shape of what, like, think of cutesy little feminine lips. This is it right here. These are just female lips. It's just a crimson chin implant. That's it. And a lumpy throat. It's disgusting. This is not a man's throat. It isn't. Alright, so this just has a female vibe to it. I'll try to finish up. You can probably hear my daughter banging around in the background. Soft arms. It's just a woman. This is just a woman. Look at it. Feel the energy. It's all an act to these people. It's just an act. It's all persona. This is a fake beard. It's Hollywood, remember. This is just such a fake beard on this picture. Doing the mocking us. Sticking the tongue out. So Stephen King is just a grandma. It's a woman. It's a really, really ugly woman. Just because someone's ugly doesn't make them a man. You still have to just look at their features. Hey guys, Holmesworm Hat. This is gonna be a video about the show I Love Lucy, which we all know is shout out to the dog, Lucifer. So I'm just gonna look at pictures of people from I Love Lucy and show you that they're transgender abominations, Nephilim, whatever these things are. I honestly don't even think that they're human anymore. I think they just try to pretend to be human. Okay. So, I mean, when you start to get really good at it, it's just obvious. It's like, who has the feminine vibe, and who is just a dude in a dress trying to pretend to be a woman. It's like, this is just a soft feminine look over here on the right. Look at this ear, looks smaller than this ear. And then this is just, it's a man pretending to be a woman. It has harsh, hard features. The eyes are piercing, right? Like they put on a lot of makeup, but the eyes are still, they're very present. If we look at this one's eyes, we'll see that they have like a soft, alluring quality to it. So, yeah, everyone on the show is a tranny. Probably a weird halo sun idea above this one. Just, you can tell that this one's forehead's very small. You can tell that the brow ridge doesn't look right. And just an overall soft feminine feel. And check out the jaw. Like, just compare the jaw of this one to the jaw on this one. That's it. I mean, this is a drag queen. It's a castrato tranny, whatever these creatures are. Look at the long neck on this one, and then this one has no neck. Just check out how hippie on the wedding day. It's like, they look crazy to me. It's like, who is this hippie? What kind of a man has to wear pants like this? So hippie. That's how they hide it. They just wear these huge pants. That looks like a feminine digit ratio. Doing the Batman Arkham Knight. Bulging out FDM eyes. This one puts hat on in the face. Always look at who puts hat on in the face. That's a feminine quality. Men don't really put hat on in the face. I mean, I'm pretty skinny. But I literally couldn't give myself a double chin. I like cry, scrunch my, it doesn't even happen. And that's the look that these ones do. And it's what makes us feel self-conscious. Women feel really self-conscious about their double chin, but it's actually a feminine quality. And I want to do another video on double chins, because apparently there's a procedure these days to get rid of your double chin, and it's very, very popular with businessmen. Quote-unquote businessmen. It's a bunch of FPM trannies getting rid of their double chin. Guaranteed you. Okay, so we got sidetracked. Probably coding going on here, like who the heck, she's throwing a P. The dude in the wedding dress is throwing a 3, throwing a 2 back in that sign. You know, all these images are highly coded. This is probably a square of code for a reason like that. Animation. What is this thing over this person's shoulder? So, you know, there's a lot of thought that goes into these pictures. Doesn't this look like, who, out of these things, like, who has the boyish energy and who has the soft feminine energy? This is just just a soft feminine. It's just that Hollywood has trained us to do these things backwards. They give us the soft feminine, and then they give us the tomboys. But it's really just men pretending to be women, and they're harsh. And these are just soft feminine eyes, and these are just man eyes. When you get really good with the eyes, it's obvious. I mean, these have brow ridges, and this one is just doing a stupid. I mean, there's a little bit of a brow ridge from taking testosterone, but the female-to-male trannies are always doing weird eyebrow things. And you can tell that this forehead is this hairline is so fake. They give them this just like harsh rectangular forehead, but this is fake. This is a wig or hair treatments. But they just go with a harsh rectangle because it sells the dude. But look at how small this forehead is compared to this person over here. And then this one has a huge forehead, but they cover it up with bangs a lot. So you have to really pay attention. And you have to know what are tricks. I think part of it is knowing the tricks. This hairline right here is a trick. These stupid facial expressions it's a trick. It's to hide the fact that the brow ridge isn't correct. But really, this picture to me, it's just all about the energy. The energy just shines through in all of these people. You know, women are reserved and sweet, and this is the right? This is like predatory type look over here. You know, this is not feminine. This look right here is not feminine at all. And even this, it's like a boyish look over here. So you really can read a lot. Okay, I thought this was a really interesting picture. Okay, so yeah. What are some things to notice? I think a thing that you can notice in this picture is just the different. It's hard with these ones. It's hard to see how high up their legs are. But I think that you would see that this is kind of a leggy person, and then this one doesn't really have long legs. It's like a long torso with long arms and hands. The weird that it's covering up this region with the hat and then pointing out. It's just very strange. And it looks like, yeah, I don't know. They're always doing weird things like this, and it's not. This isn't a candid photo, you know? They were handed these props, they were handed these clothes, they were told to stand like this. So, strange about this. And just again, you can just tell that this is a dude. Once you know it, you can just tell that this is a dude. Just way too big in the upper chest region. Look at how there's no abdomen. Small features that just disappear into the face. It's feminine. They've trained us to accept femboys as what a man is. Look at this. This is just such a Ken doll look over here. And it's a feminine forehead. So, this picture is it for me. This is a female neck. There's just no neck. For me, I can just tell that this thing on the left is a woman trying to be a man. It just looks bad for me, this one. Pointing up, probably a 666 idea too. Yeah. It's a dude over here kissing a girl over here, and they're both saying crap. I think it should be pretty obvious in this video. Just look at the feminine energy. It's a woman with big feet. It really is. Small, like the hands on the men are never manly. We'll see the hands on the other ones are manly. These are long, delicate, feminine. So men have actually like smaller fingers. Women have these like long, elegant fingers. Men's fingers are more like stout looking. And at least on me, like, my knuckles are really big. Like, this long, slender look for the fingers, so feminine. You can see the curved jaw, you can see the knuckle on the neck, and you can see that this isn't a large person, but they put on fat in the face. A man this size wouldn't have fat. They can see leggy, very leggy person, that's feminine. So, I always say this because it's a visual illustration. Me and my wife's legs are the same length, but I'm taller than her. So our legs are the same length, but I get all of that extra height. It's in my torso. I have a long torso, and these creatures are always backwards. This is a short torso, It's a woman. These are woman proportions. This is so soft, so feminine. We got the wonky eye in this shot. We got just 100% feminine eyes. What's selling it? Well, there's a fake hairline, which is 100% rectangular, so that reads man. And then there's a bushy brow, and then there's fake teeth. Everything else is 100% feminine. Once you realize where their perception lies, you can tell. This is a fake hairline, fake eyebrows, and fake teeth on a woman. Can you tell? Now that I say that, does that make sense to you? It's a woman's face. She has a fake hairline on. She has fake bushy eyebrows. And she has giant piglet teeth. But besides that, it is just a woman. Spanish sign. They never tell their secret. They won't tell it. This is an FDM face so much on the right here. And, yeah, Lucille Ball. Has balls. Has balls. Yeah, Lucille Ball. Because she probably still has balls. The ones that are this famous, I think a lot of them are true hermaphrodites. They really like the true hermaphrodites. They're probably the cleanest. So doesn't this look like a butterfly? This bow here, butterfly bow. So they're obsessed with butterflies, moths, anything that has a transformation. Even our language is infected. There's so many things that have the word trans in it. That's what these are transhuman. They aren't human, I don't think. So it's just these are two men in drag. It really is. You can just see, both of them have just long necks. This one, I think you can even see a line on the neck. The very common for the male to female to have a line on the neck from getting shave downs. They get their trachea shaved down. Black and white checkers. Just check out the arms on these two creatures. That's all you need to see of this one. Look at this right here. Oh my gosh, this muscle line right there. That is masculine. Women don't get this. Just look at this person, you know, and they're not like bodybuilders, but just their mass is, the way that they put on mass is masculine. You can see that muscle line right here in Lucille. So, yeah, you're looking at two dudes. For sure. Look at the man hands in this shot. This looks like a man. Doesn't this look like a man playing poker? Look at that digit ratio. I mean, that's a ring finger that is just as long as the middle finger. Very masculine. So we'll stop this video by looking at images of Fred, or we'll end this video. Fred is just another classic FTM. It's a female skull. If you understand the differences between male and female skulls, there's no way that you can look at this and think that it's a man's skull. This is just a classic. This is one of the looks that they get, and they sell it. It's like they sell this as a man look, but it's a bald woman. It's just not. Look at the feminine. Well, this one's maybe. I think this one does have a feminine digit ratio. It's doing kind of a hand sign, and they do a hand sign in their junk region a lot of times. Yeah, but this is just it's a look that they sell as masculine, but there's nothing masculine about it. It's small, slopey shoulders. It's FTM eyes. They're not set back in the skull. There's no brow ridge. They just furrow their brow. Furrowing your brow doesn't make you have a brow ridge. And then they're bald, and people assume that just because you're bald, you can't be a woman. That's wrong. If you take testosterone, you go bald. So, totally consistent with creatures, with FTM creatures. So look at how leggy. This high-waisted pant is a FTM look. High-waisted pants, high-waisted trousers, FTM, all the way. Men don't wear their pants like this. This is ridiculous. This is an FTM look. It's something that they do. I don't even know why they do this. It's like a joke. Small feet. Look at how small the feet are on this one. You know, Ethel's feet are way bigger. Ethel has some healthy looking ankles. Health is like, just look at the arm on this thing. Crazy. It's very masculine. Looks very strong.
Now
right?
221 accident-free days.
Looks like a sloping forehead on this one. Looks like a little bit of a sloping
Not
forehead on this
quite.
one, but absolutely no brow ridge. And the eyes aren't set back, and they're beady little
God
FTM eyes.
rested on the 7th day.
Look at just
But
how
imagine
more
how much
expressive
further
the features on the left are. They're just they're more noticeable
That's
than the features on the right.
7-day work week. Now
Men are
we
alpha
achieve
males.
greatness on all
You can
sides of
spot our
Hollywood
features from a
every
mile
day.
away. Look at
Let's
this.
achieve.
Holy moly. Alright, I don't think I have to say anything about this one. Interesting idea right here with the shirt. Yeah, it's just an FTM. This is a classic FTM look. Look, it looks like he has a goiter. This is just the very feminine double chin. Alright, so yeah, I think that about wraps this one up. I love Lucy. Of course, they're talking about Lucifer. I love Lucifer, and they're all transgenders. Look at this T-Rex tranny right here. There you go.
Hello, I am Vega, the sentient intelligence
Hey guys,
assigned to
Transform this is
Mars.
a transvestigation.
After running diagnostics on the Praetor suit, it appears that I can activate optional challenges that, when completed, will assist in upgrading your arsenal at an accelerated pace. I have added a tracking component to your dossier.
Seem to be women pretending to be men. Can you just not see that this is just a woman? River Phoenix is just a woman.
Main power offline. All entrances
So-
non-operational.
We'll just go through the images. But once you get it, once you know the secret, it's a little girl with short hair. It really is. So this is the look, those soft, feminine eyes. They're soft. Men's eyes are more piercing. This just has a soft, feminine vibe to it. Hard on the
All
testosterone that gives
entrances
them this acne.
non-operational.
But look at how there's fat in the face. That's feminine, very feminine. These lips look feminine to me. The skin looks very soft, very feminine. Just again in the eyes, you'll always see it in the eye. You'll see that the neck isn't right. There's no Adam's apple. The FTM, they can get a little bit. Taking testosterone makes your
Main
neck a
power
little thicker,
offline. All
but it
entrances
won't give you a
non-operational.
correct Adam's apple. So sure, this is a thicker looking neck because it's juiced up on testosterone. What you should be looking at is Adam's apple. It's not there. Doing some sort of here. So yeah, it's actually a little girl with a short haircut. I guarantee to you that if this was dressed up as a little girl, you wouldn't question it. You would just know it's a little girl. So these pictures are always really disturbing to me a little bit because it gives me like why are these young boys, millions of girls? So that's what's even kind of more disturbing. But we'll see the breast tissue that isn't correct for a man. This is a woman. And
Especially now.
the narrow sloping
In what will be
shoulders,
your
and the
final
arms that come off and away
in
from
this
the body.
world.
And there's hips here.
All
They
the
hide
rules.
the hips, but
The
they got
human
them.
sacrifices.
Yeah, that's a woman.
The hell
Well, it's a little girl.
The
It's
demons.
disturbing. This is a little
It's
girl.
all true.
Look at the delicate bone
My
structure.
sisters and brothers, be thankful. You will be the
This
first.
just looks like a woman to me.
You will have a seat alongside them, just as
Can you
I
not tell
will
that that's
in
just the
what
face
will
of a
become the
woman?
new
River
world
Phoenix is just
they
a
create
woman.
for us. Starting
Yeah,
now.
it really is just a woman. So again, just with this breast tissue isn't right. It's not correct, and these are just sloped, really tiny shoulders on all three. You know, these are probably three little girls. This is a little Jew girl pretending to be a boy.
I believe
So they
in
love to
honesty.
get little spirals. They get as
Especially
many
now.
spirals. I feel like
And
something
what
about
will
the
be your
spiral
final
puts us in a
moments in this world?
susceptible state of mind to just accept whatever. I don't know what it is, but they love getting the spiral in there. And I think it does something to us subconsciously where we
Especially
accept this as a man, even
And
though
what
she's
will be
not.
your final
It really is just a woman. look in the neck, but there's no Adam's apple.
Human sacrifices.
It just has a soft feminine energy to it. It really does. It's like pointing at its crotch too.
My sisters and brothers be
They
thankful.
do that a lot. But you can see the short arms. A real man would have long arms. I think this is what the thing is. It's kind of hard to get pictures of this, but you can see that they will always look very picky. It's almost like subtle devil horn here idea. Strange picture. This really is ridiculous. And it looking very leggy, right? Look how leggy. And then short torso, that's feminine. And it's just a woman's face.
I believe,
Face of a woman. Hidden hand.
especially now.
This was like something about the thumb. I think men have a skinnier, men's thumbs, I think, are skinnier on this portion. I'm not 100% sure on that. You guys might have to check me out. But that's something that I want to look into. Leave a comment. If you're a woman, what's your thumb look like? If you're a man, is this part of your thumb noticeably skinnier than the rest of it? Okay. So hard on the teeth. This is a woman on the teeth. That's what it is. This is a woman on testosterone, for sure. No Adam's apple. They'll get a little bit of thickness in the trachea when they're hard on the teeth. So this is still a woman.
Demonic presence at unsafe levels. Lockdown.
It almost has like a Kirsten Dunst vibe, but if Kirsten Dunst was actually pretty, she might look that's what I look at when I see this. It's like Kirsten Dunst was actually pretty, but then also a type. This is This is definitely looking like an FTM mustache here, and an FTM brow ridge, and it's all about the expression. Because they're trying really hard to have this like edgy look to it, but it's not working. It's a woman on feet, and it's just an act. They really do have a sloped jaw. This is just a fake hairline. Man, yeah, it's just not a man. It really isn't. It's all an act. All of it. I mean, that mustache, if that mustache doesn't look wrong with you, that is some FTM facial hair for sure. And those lips, look at those lips! How are these not female lips right there? The bearded lady. Oh my gosh, that's disturbing. You can just tell that their mouth is too small here, the woman's mouth. The bone structure of just the lower face is too small for a man. Look at this feminine lips. Very natural. This is a woman. It really is. It's a woman on testosterone, so she has a little bit of a brow ridge, but it's just a woman furrowing her brow with a short haircut. And a lot of the female to males are already bald by this point. So this hair that you're seeing, either a wig or this one just looks like a wig. But a lot of these people they almost all have hair transplants because taking testosterone makes you go bald really quick. Well, if you knew a bunch of people in high school who were bald by the time they were like 14, those are people that are abusing testosterone because they're trannies, because they're not real. They're not real men. They even go with the long hair a lot of times. They'll go with the half short, half long. It's like a joke for them. Like, I'm half man, half woman. I feel like a lot of days women just look like this. Really. And those are feminine lips for sure. It's a feminine chin too. It doesn't even look like they tried to make this one have a masculine chin. Sometimes they just let them go looking like 100% female. That's a feminine forehead for sure. And they'll get a little bit of angle to the jaw, but not much. And they'll also never age correctly. This is still too small of a face this is just a woman's face. It's a woman's face that's been masculinized a little bit. That's why the FTM are harder for people, because taking testosterone, it will masculinize your face a little bit. It'll give you a little bit of this. It'll give you a little bit of a brow ridge, but it's still a woman's face. Yeah. Yeah, it's a woman. It's always really telling, just their neck and their chest region. It'll never look masculine enough. Here you go.
Here at the UAC, we take pride in nurturing a growing workforce.
So yeah, I think we're mostly done with River Phoenix. I think this is another pretty obvious one. Yeah, this mustache. This is not a man with a mustache. I mean, just the lower half of his face is just so feminine. Very feminine.
Yeah! That's awesome. Fuck yeah.
It was really hard to find body shots of this one. It really was very difficult to find body shots of this one. But can you not tell that this is a woman trying to be a man right here? To me, this is very obvious that this is just a woman trying to be a man. Alright, so that's it for this. River Phoenix, also an FDM tranny, and a creature, whatever these things are. Leave a comment, you know. So I just want to add really quick to the end of this video. I just woke my daughter up, and I brought her out here and was cleaning her diaper or whatever, and then she looked up at the computer screen and saw this picture that I have right here, and she said girl. She was like, girl, about this person. So even little kids know that this is wrong. Little kids know that this is a girl, but they brainwash us and make us lose all of that stuff. And I just wanted to bring this up too, because I just recently had a comment from one of my viewers saying that their 3-year-old granddaughter was like, did you know Michael Jackson is a woman? And she was like, wait, how did you? And the kid responded, just look at him, it's a woman. So little kids know this. It gets brainwashed out of them, and we have to relearn it as an adult. We have to unbrainwash ourselves. Hey guys, Hans Wormhat. I'm gonna re-record this video. There's just I just want to re-record it and add some more stuff to it. So what this video is looking at is just clothing. The clothing never fits regular humans correctly. Maybe some of you guys have realized that, and to me, it's really good proof that these creatures, these transgender people, I don't even know if they're people. They're the bulk of the population, and clothing actually proves it, because it's all for them. Clothing is made for these creatures. So what the jean size I wear is, I wear a 30-30, but the only reason I wear a 30-30 is because my dream size is a 30-29. Because men, so this is why I wanted to re-record this video, because I want to make sure that this comes out correct. Men get just as much height from their torso as they do from their legs. Women get more height from their legs than they do from their torso. So that's just a very important thing to know about body proportion and the differences between men and women. One way that I often describe this is, me and my wife have the same length legs, but I'm like 3 inches taller than her. So imagine two people where their legs are the same height, but then one of them's 3 inches taller. Where do I get all of that height from my torso, from maybe some from my neck. I do have kind of a long neck because I'm a man. So this goes into clothing for sure. So I'm a 30-29, and guess what? A 30-29 is still too long in the leg for me. So there's only 14 jeans with a size 30-29. So really rare. Why? I don't think that my body type should be that rare. I'm just a man. I'm a regular dude. I'm not fat. I'm not super bulky. I'm just a man. I'm not tall, but you would expect more than 14 jean styles from me. So let's go to a waist. What about like a waist of 42 inches? So that's, you might say fat. Maybe I'm going to say hippie. These are hippie men. 42-inch waist with a 30 length. 109 items. So
take pride in
So
nurturing
to me, this is just proof that these tranny preachers are the bulk of the population. They're the bulk of the public. I've said this before on my channel, and I'll continue to say it. I think real men are pretty rare, and pants prove it. Pant sizes prove it. Go to Costco. Sorry, go to Costco. Look at the pile of pants on the rack. The pant sizes are all hippie. It's all super hippie, and people are just gonna blame it on being fat, but it's more than that. There should be a nice stack of pants built for people like me, but there just never is, because there's not enough of me. There's no demand for it. We're rare. We just are. So another thing about, I'm just going to talk about men's clothing, because it's just what I have experience with. Men's t-shirts are always too short for real men. They just are. I lift up my hands and my shirts expose my belly. That's not supposed to happen. And the reason that it's just because shirts aren't made for real men. Real men have long torsos. Our shirts should be longer. And I think this is something that I have heard women say. I've heard women say that shirts are always way too long for them. So leave a comment if you have that problem, because that's tranny. That's reverso. Men have long torsos. Yeah, this is the bulk of what I wanted to say. I think this is a really good video topic, so please leave comments and let me know, as a real human, how does clothing fit you?
Here at the UAC, we take pride in nurturing a growing workforce, and each year we harvest only the best of the best. Are you ready to move up? To take on new challenges? To become more than you ever
Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston, and you are driving to Pueblo, Colorado with me right now. It's the 3rd of October, 2017, and I have listened to, watched, and researched this entire Mandalay Bay thing, and it totally amazes me how many people are still calling for second shooters, multiple shooters, state-sponsored. Listen, look at the witnesses, particularly the guy with the beard. My buddy got shot in the chest and said, "I'm hit." And then he got shot 2 more times. So this guy on the 32nd floor, this 64-year-old guy with no military training, whose own brother said he was not a gun guy whatsoever at all, an old white guy from the United States, suddenly converted to Islam, joined ISIS, got a room at Mandalay Bay on the 32nd floor, carrying weapons that nobody noticed, and he managed to shoot a guy not once, not twice, but 3 times in the chest. And the guy that saved him doesn't even know the guy's name, and he saved him, he put him on a cart, he stuck him under the bleachers, he did all this shit, but he doesn't remember his name, and he has no idea what his condition is. The people at the hospital said the guy will be okay. This entire thing is bullshit. The eyewitnesses are crisis actors. If some of it's a lie, all of it's a lie. I don't understand the channels that are saying it's a dark day for the United States with all these victims and blah, 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 blah. If some of it's a lie, all of it's a lie. You see what I'm saying? Take note in front of us. Do you notice how far you can see? You can see forever. The horizon comes right up to meet your eye. I just thought I'd throw that in there real quick. At any rate, multiple shooters, the guy on the 4th floor, we have no idea whatsoever at all if that video wasn't interjected into the video to completely distract people and put people in the wrong direction. The people that are allegedly being killed were crisis actors that were interjected into the audience. When the sound effects started, they all hit the deck, which is why the girl that was videotaping said nobody seems to be injured. This guy from 1,000 miles away managed to hit one person 3 times in the chest. Do you have any idea how difficult that would be from 1,000 yards and 32 stories? I'm not buying it. Nobody died. It's all bullshit. I don't know what to tell you. Richie from Boston. I am out.
Demonic presence with unsafe mode. Lockdown imminent.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. As most of us are, we're looking into what is supposed to be one of the deadliest, or if not the deadliest, shooting or mass shooting in U.S. history. The first time around and studying it for a good 12 hours after it happened, it looked completely like a false flag setup. And I have zero doubts at all that this is a government-created event, a gun-grabbing event, which they create all the time to convince the masses that it's in their best interest to gun grab, to get everyone's guns, that we're going to live in this wonderful world of peace and love. When these moronic people who refuse to listen, refuse to research, refuse to believe that there's people this sick, if they only could realize who is out there and who is doing this stuff, that we would have peace, that there wouldn't be wars, there wouldn't be these types of problems if they didn't create them. Nonetheless, just another event to trick them into going along with their agenda. But the more I'm looking at some of this stuff, the more I've seen in the last 24 hours, this potentially could be a hoax event. This could potentially be an event that didn't necessarily have casualties involved, because a lot of the footage that has come out has shown nothing that would make you think that people were getting shot and massacred. If anything, it sounds like shots were, fake rounds were fired off, and people were kind of confused. Some were running, some were falling to the ground. But then you see all the footage of the crisis actors. I mean, these people, it's just, if you saw my Academy Awards for the crisis actors, which I ran the day of the Oscars this year, and I'll probably do it again next year, we got about 5 candidates already from this event. People who are supposedly involved in the biggest mass shooting in U.S. history, who apparently find it funny, who are able to laugh. You don't see tears. You don't see, their hair is still perfectly done up.
The ambulance, it was right there, so I took him in my car, and she said, "Can I drive?" Because she worked for Metro, and we got to the hospital so quick you wouldn't believe it, right? But anyway, we got to the hospital so quick you wouldn't believe it, right?
Demonic presence eliminated. Lockdown disengaged.
He's never been drawing his gun. It makes no sense. He's never hit anybody. He's never...
Gun enthusiast or just a few?
Well, he had a couple of handguns, I think. He had a safe with a couple of handguns. He might have had one long rifle, but he didn't have any... he had no automatic weapons that I knew of at any time. There's no... It just makes no sense. Like I said, it's an asteroid fell. It doesn't...
How's everyone? Other than the obvious.
I got a 90-year-old mother whose son just killed 50-plus people and now is dead.
So yeah, as is always the case, Carolyn.
For my 21st birthday, and not knowing if I'm safe, not even knowing if I'm safe going home tomorrow on an airplane, so...
And how did you get out of the venue after this all happened?
We actually weren't there whenever the shooting had occurred. We had already left about maybe 10, 15 minutes before that, but we just barely made it back into our room whenever it started.
And were you thinking, oh my gosh, this woman told us that before we left?
Yeah, I thought it had a positive correlation to it. Like, obviously she was telling us that in either to tell us to warn us or to tell us that we were all gonna die, and she was part of it. So
okay, so they want the description of this woman. Describe to me what this woman looked like.
Her and her boyfriend were both Hispanic. They were probably about shorter 5-footers, probably about 5'5", 5'6".
You don't see emotion coming out of these people. Okay, I like to think that I'm a pretty straightforward guy, and I can hold, I can hold my emotions pretty well. But I'd like to think if I went somewhere and bullets were flying by my head and I was watching people get massacred, then I'd be pretty distraught and pretty upset. Strangers or not, keep in mind that your life could have just been lost. Your life could have flashed before your eyes. But these people are calm, these people are cool, these people are smiling. Then you get this other story that there was a woman running around the concert, a couple, letting people know that a shooting was going to occur in an hour or so. And this doesn't leave people suspicious that these are planned events, that these things occur. But what they'll probably say is that the woman was the woman who was there with the shooter from the get-go, and she knew it was going to go down. There's just so many bizarre things surrounding this story. Of course, it's not a coincidence that it occurs right in front of the Luxor Hotel, in front of that giant pyramid, or are we supposed to believe that that's a coincidence as well? That they didn't strategically pick this location, pick the 32nd floor, have it in front of that pyramid, and then you look at the windows which are shot out. Okay? We're supposed to believe that this guy has this much, his room is this large. They're saying that he had a 2-bedroom suite. You can see there's at least 10 windows there. And usually around the corners of these hotels, the rooms wouldn't cut off. That would still be part of his room, so he'd have all the way to the other side for the most part. Just because of the architect and how these, how it's made when you go around the side, so to speak. And you would pay for that big side view to see the whole strip. Then he had all of this leeway, right? All of these windows, all of this room. He shot out those 2 specific spots he went to shoot out. So he had plenty of time to shoot out one window, then a rearm and go over to the other side and shoot out that window. I mean, there's just so many things involved that would make you think, wow, this is something else that can make people wake up, because every story that's come out since then has been about a gun grab. Every story. CNN, all they're talking about, and this is another technique in the mind control, which people just don't realize that's what's being done because they refuse to think that there's people that are this sick. But as soon as these events happen, you get the life story 24 hours later of the victims, and CNN is just rolling out female victim after female victim, which isn't a surprise because they're playing off people's emotions. Oh, she was a nurse. Oh, she gave her life for. Oh, and the boyfriend jumped on top and took the bullet for her. These are just to play on your emotions, to get you to feel like you could be this person, that it could be you or your neighbor, right? Kooky Facebook pictures and then stories about, oh boy, they love their job and they love their family and they had a pet. All stuff that are supposed to, in your mind, plant seeds that could be you. That's why they do these stories. You think they care about the victims? They're trying to honor the victims? They're trying to put yourself in that person's spot. To say, wow, that could have been me. That could have been my daughter. We need to get the guns. That's the whole point. That's why they do that. To play off of your emotions. Nothing more than that. So you get all of these just bizarre stories. You see some of the footage of the concert where you just hear, gunfire going off, and you don't even see people running around. You don't even see them moving. You get the report of a woman going around warning people that there's going to be an event going on there. I mean, it's got all the same, you call it a drill. You can call it whatever you want that they run with these actors. But it's the same stuff. I mean, you get these emotionless actors and they just cannot seem. Maybe it's because these people are soulless, which is probably very likely. And they keep bringing them in event after event, and they can't even budge a tear. They can't even force one out. Then you get the brother, right? The brother who is now the brother, just like the last event with the guy with the car. I did a video on that at the protests where they interviewed the mother in the garage, and she had no surprise. She's just like, what? Really? Like, your son just got accused of murdering someone with his car, running him down. and just no emotion at all. Same thing here with the brother. The brother's just kind of like laughing a little bit. He's, he's pushing the gun grab. Like, that's what he's saying, right? He's getting asked about this. The first thing he's saying is, who sold him the guns? How did he get these guns? How did he get it? We need to find out how he got it. Not about as much about his brother and his character, more about where did he get these guns, because he never had guns before. That's all this is seed planting for a gun grab. That's all these events ever are.
Thank you for your service.
And we're getting to the point where, people go, well, we see it all the time and nothing ever happens. But we're, with all the stuff that's going on with Antifa and the left versus the right, they're getting closer to getting what they want, because people are becoming more active in this. People are following along with what they're saying. They're getting involved in these protests. They're getting involved in all of this stuff when they shouldn't be, because they're being played like fools or puppets on strings. But we're getting closer and closer because people are going along for the ride. They're getting angry. You see the quote-unquote left getting angry and violent. You see the alt-right getting angry. I mean, it's all a show. That's all that this is. This is about massive gun grab. This is what the New World Order needs. It's what they want. It's what they demand. And people are going to go along with it, because then all we're going to have left armed is going to be our government, our military. And boy, why would they want that? Why would they want total control like that? So you can't defend and protect yourself against these people? But people still, they refuse to believe that this stuff exists, that our government is corrupt. They would want these things, that they create these events. That's all that they are. They create these. Whether they use a Manchurian candidate to go up there to fire shots, whether real or fake, and then, of course, conveniently, every time these people are dead. Every time. Right? You don't hear anyone on TV go, do you think just once we can get one of these guys alive so we can interview them and have a trial? Wow, no trial, no court case, no nothing. Same story every time. These guys end up dead. Every time. Show me once, other than the Denver movie theater shooting, where one of these guys has come out alive. Because normally they're Manchurian candidates. They're put to an end after they do these events. Or, you have just a crisis act, a whole event, which is just nothing but a hoax, where you have people playing roles. You don't even know if this guy exists or not. This guy could be in Israel, for all we know, tucked away with the Mossad safely. But this is about a massive gun grab. And you hear the narrative today, the narrative yesterday. It's going to keep going forward. What's it going to take to stop it, right? And remember, I said this, and think about this. You talk about the school shootings. Why do you think they choose schools? Because they play off the emotions of people and say, oh my goodness, somebody could walk in your kid's school and shoot people. Well, they've been doing that over and over. But they also want to play off the emotion of you. You go to concerts. You go to sporting events, right? Now they want you to feel that it's not safe to do those things. And people are going to go, we want to feel safe. We want to be able to go to concerts and not worry about getting shot in the back. So how can we prevent it? Well, what are we going to do? We can't block a guy from a hotel from across the street, because you don't know what he could be doing in there. We got to take the guns. That is the point. Make you feel uncomfortable, make you feel nervous, make you feel like you need to be protected by your government. So then the government could do the gun grab and say, listen, you asked for the gun grab. We didn't force it. Because if they force the gun grab, people will be a little suspicious, don't you think? People will be talking about the rights, talking about the laws. This is nothing more than a psychological operation, which everybody continues to fall right into their hands, right? So you go from school shootings, which play off people's emotions. Now you go to these events, thinking about the Grande concert with the bomb, this with the shooting here in Las Vegas, which is a place, they pick a place like Vegas, which is a place people feel safe. Oh, everybody goes to Vegas and they drink and they have a good time and they go see concerts and shows, right? They deliberately, strategically pick these things so that you can put yourself in that perspective and say, wow, I could have been there. That could have been me. That could have been my daughter. That's how psychological operations work. And they plant seeds in people's heads so that with the Hegelian dialect that they go along with it and they ask for all of this nonsense and all of this crap that they want. And just like I said, you can see it on CNN. What's the future hold for concerts and sporting events? They're already pushing it. They're already pushing it. What are we going to do? Security with concerts and all. Oh my goodness, we can't even leave our house anymore. We've got to grab the guns. This is how it works. So you see some of these awful, embarrassing crisis actors laughing. The story of the woman telling people, you know, there's going to be a shooting here. Get out. You see nobody crying, nobody covered in blood. I mean, everybody looks fine, you know, for the most part. You see it all occur right in front of the pyramid on the 32nd floor where this guy just happens to have all of this, you know, occupancy. I mean, look how far down this stretches. I know there's suites, and I know, you know, they claim he's got a 2-bedroom suite, but, you know, he smashes out that window, he goes down and smashes out the other one, he's got all this time. I mean, just so much bizarre stuff. The brother laughing for the most part, immediately talking about how did he get the guns, not talking about, you know, he mentions his brother's character, you know, oh, well, it's my brother's fault, but, you know, how did he get the guns? Because it's all seed planting. And common people don't believe in mind control. They don't understand it. So when they see that clip, their brain isn't thinking, wow, he's planting seeds about how he got the guns. They're just going, yeah, how did he get the guns? Which is what they want. So for people like us who are awake, we see this stuff and we go, how do people not see it? It's so ridiculous. It's so over the top. It's so in our face. These people are laughing. They're mocking us. Because we're awake and we can see it. We're looking for it. These other people, they don't get it. They just don't get it. And they go through life on autopilot. So people need to be aware of this stuff. I mean, again, you know, I originally said this looked like a false flag. I mean, this very well could be a hoax. You know, I don't like to get involved in saying false flag or hoax anymore because it's just, it's you know, it's opinion-based, but I try to tell people who have channels, you know, because some people message me and they go, no, you're wrong. It's not a false flag. It's a hoax. There are no victims. Listen, you know, you're entitled to have your opinion, but remember the bigger picture here. Hoax or false flag, the only difference you're talking about is did real people die? And, of course, you'd like to say, hope it's a hoax so that nobody's dead. But at the end of the day, we're talking about the same thing, that this is a government-created event. And we all have to be on the same page and realize, you know, you can find the smoking gun that shows that it was a hoax or the smoking gun that shows it was a false flag. But this is about government, our government, the CIA, creating these events, staging these events. Because there's no doubt that they're behind this whatsoever. I thank you all for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.
Are you an elite? Are your staged attacks not going as planned? Are your globalist agendas failing because you're using subpar crisis actors? Well, then look no further. Hi, I'm Harrison Hanks, the ultimate crisis actor. Need a medical doctor? In 18 years as a medical examiner, I've never seen anything like it. Yeah.
Is this one over the top? Is this one different?
Yeah, it's over the top. 33 children died. Do you need a grieving husband? Did a right-winger set off a bomb? Right, yeah, we're just milling about over there. Had a massive explosion. And I'm your man. Tired of melodramatic acting?
There's light away from the darkness. I'm just trying to figure out if he's okay. I lost my 20-year-old, but I had 20 years with my son.
It's just tragedy, horror, and tragedy.
Or maybe you need me to tone down my good acting to match your sorry lot of wannabes. In that case, I can go from this. My name is Bobby Palmer. My family's one of the families that lost a child. To this. My name is Bobby Palmer. My family's one of the families that lost a child. Going for the guns takes subtlety, like this. I don't know how many more need to die before the president does something. Not this.
And please, could we do something with the assault weapons?
And every one of those answers why those weapons should not be out in the general public.
In this kind of a situation, what has changed? Have we learned nothing?
Tired of green screen mishaps and disappearing noses?
Is there anything else you want to say?
I'm green screen ready, bonded, and insured. I can morph into 1,000 different faces. I offer reasonable rates, and I have no conscience. Just pick your card to play on the world stage.
From homeless to police officer, from doctor to witness, to your ace card, the grieving father.
You can count on Harrison Hanks to push through your agenda. Regain their trust. Call Harrison Hanks for all your crisis needs. Thank you.
All right. Yes, all you truth seekers. For everyone who asks receives, for he who seeks, and to him who knocks the door will be open. 100% in life and in faith. All right, folks. We're gonna go ahead and end the broadcast here, and tune in